Welcome back, everyone, to Highlighted and All Sports Culture podcast. Sam, Sully, Kurt. How we doing, gentlemen? Are we ready to get into this episode?
I am fucking ready.
We're always ready.
Yep. Did you guys hear the big news? What happened with me this weekend? Had my first hole-in-one in golf.
That is fantastic.
I did hear. I heard. I think SportsCenter was posting about it.
Yep, it's on number one on the SportsCenter top 10.
Yep.
So we're feeling good. The vibes are off the chart heading into this episode. But yeah, Takeaway Tuesday is what we got. And then we're going to do a little bit of a Would You Rather sports edition game at the end. We did the Would You Rather with Matthew Stafford last week and the quarterback. A bunch of quarterbacks around the league. And this time we'll be doing some Would You Rather, just regular sports edition, not necessarily quarterback. But like we said, normal Takeaway Tuesday until then. Anyone like to start us off?
I mean, I can go first because our things kind of bounce.
Yeah. Let's hear it, Sam. Let's hear the take.
All right. Well, I'll lead off and just say the Cardinals suck, and they need to look in the mirror for once in their damn lives because
I've never look in their mirror.
No, they don't. I don't think Kyler can see over the kitchen counter or the bathroom counter to look in the mirror.
It's true.
But they signed Rodrigo.
Neither can I.
Oh yeah, they did sign Rodrigo.
So they're automatically
trade for Robbie Anderson. So they automatically are just.
All right. I saw this TikTok and I completely agree. All right. So Robbie Anderson is what? Going back and forth with Steve Wilkes and a bunch of other coaches and players for what? A couple minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
How does the sideline reporter not pick up on anything they say? Isn't that the whole job of the sideline reporter? All you have to do is like get nearby and be like, I mean, is it rocket science? Even you could just get like if they're yelling at each other, which probably was the case if there's shoving involved or like they're really going at it. I think you gotta figure out what they're talking about. And she was like, yeah, I was unable to really figure out what they were talking about, but he's ejected. It's like, well, yeah, he was walking out of the game. All of us knew he was ejected. That's my pet peeve. Go on.
NFL Films has like 50 mic guys on the field in a game. You could see like 4 parabolic guys at least on the frame every single time a camera is on the field.
Well, you think NFL Films knows what he said then?
Oh, absolutely.
So let's buy it off them. Let's buy off the
for a ransom.
Yeah, we'll be like under the table. We'll be like
$20.
What do we actually think was being said between the two of them? Like,
Robbie Anderson is probably like, I don't get the ball fucking enough. Like, give me the ball. And then Steve Wilkes is probably like, you fucking suck. Like, get open. And then he not.
I don't know. I mean, have you guys seen PJ Walker's passing chart from that game? I don't think.
The Panthers
passed the line of scrimmage.
I mean, the Panthers.
That was his first ever NFL loss. Actually, his first ever professional football loss.
Really?
Well, yeah, because
he was 6-0 in the XFL, and I think he was like 1-0 or 2-0 in the NFL.
When did he start?
I don't know when he started in the NFL.
Hurt? Was that after Cam got hurt that one year?
I think he only started like one game.
Yeah, it was 1 or 2.
He probably was like they were probably like 4-11 and played against a shitter McBobber pants and then won the game. So.
Shitter McBobber pants.
Was it when Cam got hurt and then the guy who backed up in Washington? What was the guy? Kyle something? What was his name?
Kyle Allen.
Kyle Allen. Didn't Kyle Allen get hurt at one point and PJ Walker backed him up? I think that's when that win happened.
Kyle Allen fucking sucks.
He started his own podcast. It's doing well.
Did he actually?
It's good for him. Yeah. All
right. Well,
continue on.
Cardinals. Back to the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen such a unself-aware franchise for where they are at in their team building, their philosophy, how good they are, etc.? Have you?
No, they suck.
Like, the offense doesn't know what they want to be. They think running the same 2 plays every time is going to work because Kyler Murray is just trying to do anything because it's not structured well around him. But he also has not been playing well. He's a contender for most overrated player in the league for sure. But also the scheme around him isn't doing him any favors. And the offensive line isn't doing him any favors. And they're just like, let's just add another speedy receiver. We'll see if that fixes it. No, it's not. Maybe DeAndre Hopkins does some help, but when you score 9 points against arguably the worst defense in the NFL,
That's a good sign.
It's a great sign.
Like, do you expect? I mean, I expect when DeAndre comes back, like the offense is going to be loads better. So at least they got that going for them.
But the thing is, like, the NFC, I'll get to this with my take later, is not good. So they're still like in the mix, believe it or not. But they're not good. They're just doing stuff just to do stuff. If that makes any sense.
No, I mean, like we've been saying for so many years on this podcast, how Cliff Kingsbury is a terrible head coach. And what was the quote he had this weekend where he was like, he'd give up play calling duties if it meant the Cardinals could win games? And it's
do
like,
it.
Why won't you do it?
Because that's a ridiculous statement.
Because it's evidently obvious that your play calling sucks. And we've not blindly, but for the last couple of years, I think Cardinals fans haven't been wanting to admit it. But especially through these first 6 games, I just hope they don't make the excuse of like, we don't have any weapons offensively to be creative. But you still have, as much as I don't like Kyler Murray, you have arguably the most athletic quarterback in the whole NFL. And you got to utilize him. And, you know, like, who's the best offense coordinator in the league? If whoever that is, I can't think of the top of my head. Like, let's say Sean McVay. I don't know if he's the best, but Sean McVay, obviously, we know what he's done. If Sean McVay had Kyler Murray on his team, that would be so fun to watch. Be a blast. But you got fucking Cliff Kingsbury doing you justice, and you're going to be shit and ass. It's terrible.
He needs Lincoln Riley.
Yeah. No, I mean, that'd be fun.
I mean, yeah. I mean, well, with how college coaches have gone in the NFL the past few years as head coaches, I don't know if I want to see another college head coach make the jump.
We need more Lovie Smith.
Other than Harbaugh, has there been a college head coach that's like worked out in the NFL recently?
No. Matt Rule obviously hasn't. Cliff Kingsbury.
Hey, he's going to the fucking Panthers, bro.
Urban Meyer
went to the Jaguars. They fucking suck. Like, he sucks too, but they can both suck.
Well, Brian Dable went to your shitty team, and he's doing well.
Yeah, he's unreal.
I don't really count coordinators that were in the NFL.
The Giants weren't bad, though.
Then went to college, though.
Fucking.
Sam, you're saying you wouldn't have. So you're saying evidently you'd rather have coordinators than college coaches. So why doesn't every team in the NFL just sign a coordinator?
Well, what I'm getting at is I don't count like coaches that start off in the NFL ranks and spend a lot of time. Like Dable only went to Alabama for like a year, and then he went to Buffalo. Like that's what happens with Al, right? Am I crazy?
So why doesn't every team not just sign from the? So every NFL team should just not even fathom to sign a college head coach?
Yeah, why would they? It's just not. It hasn't worked except for Harbaugh. That's it. Like
I think unless you're like a tier 1 coach of like Saban or Lincoln Riley or Dabo Sweeney, it's not going to work. Because many people.
Urban Meyer was a tier 1 coach.
You're right. That's true. In that case, I thought he was going to work out, but he didn't.
Yeah, that was dumb of you.
Yeah,
he was really good at the college level. He succeeded at every single place.
He also had a really weird exit from college. Like, he didn't like dominate in college and then go right to the NFL like the year after.
Well, neither did Cliff Kingsbury. He was dog shit in college and then jumped to the NFL. Cliff Kingsbury got
fired.
Well, that's a little different. Urban Meyer like was good, but then he retired.
Correct.
Yeah.
But we all knew he was going to coach again somewhere else. It's like the Sean Payton. We all know he's going to come back and coach. It's just a matter of
do we know that?
When. Oh, I know that for a fact. I'll put so much money on that.
It's going to happen. He just didn't want to coach a team without Drew Brees anymore. He didn't want to coach Jameis Winston. Let's be real here.
He didn't want to eat the dub, which.
But like, I mean they're not eating a lot of dubs right now. But yeah, college coaches just don't work. They just don't. I mean, we saw Joe Brady. He made the jump from LSU to Carolina. Now, I don't really blame him a lot with what happened in Carolina, but they fired him for some reason.
Blows my mind that the one coordinator you stuck with was Ben McAdoo. Yeah,
that's kind of wild.
Has money.
Maybe Phil Snow is doing good stuff there.
Right. I don't know. Whatever. The Cardinals were fucking terrible. We all said coming into the year that I mean, I thought their offense wouldn't be the problem at all. Defensively, I thought no one was talking about the pieces they lost, and that would be the downside of this team. But realistically, their offense just hasn't been up to par than standards we thought they'd be at. But again, and I don't think this is a big excuse, they don't have DeAndre Hopkins, so I'm intrigued to see what happens when obviously you have your number one back. We know what happened with Marquise Brown. Their weapons just have not gotten involved the way we thought, so I'd like to see how DeAndre gets into the mix. But like, if it's 4 games into like these next 4 games, if they haven't shown any sort of progress,
They're
what
done.
are they doing? They're done. Bedtime for Bonzo.
Did any of us have them with a positive record?
No, I had him at 7-10.
I think I did too.
The Cardinals?
Yeah.
Terrible. But
I might have had about 8 wins. I think I might have been the highest on them.
Yeah, none of us believed in them, basically. And they're proving that correct. They extended literally everyone in that organization this past offseason, even though they had a complete and utter meltdown in the second half of last year.
And then the most abysmal playoff performance I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, that was horrid.
Yeah.
You're a 3-point underdog and you lose by like 40,000. It's embarrassing.
40,000.
I can't believe they were a 3-point underdog in that game. It's kind of wild to think.
Craziest part is I took Cardinals +3, but
you are
That's why you hate it.
unreal.
Yeah, exactly.
Unreal. That's why it's ingrained in your brain that they were.
Yep.
I
Remember the line. Remember watching. I was like, I'm never betting on this fucking pathetic ass franchise anymore.
Is that why you hate Kyler?
Loads of reasons. He did some. He hurt me. We go all the way back. But it's all right.
Yeah.
Kidding. Just in case anyone adds me as a source, I'm kidding. I just don't like Kyler as a player. He's probably a great guy. All right. Anything else you want to mention, Sam, Sully, about the Cardinals?
Completely off topic, and I want to ask you something. You're just saying that you hate Kyler for that reason. Do you guys remember?
Yeah, not the sole reason. I actually do think he's not that good. But continue.
Do you remember that Instagram page that like took his account down? He tried rebranding Spark or whatever.
Yes.
And do you remember the like beef
Did that
he
guy
had
get
with
like
Jimmy
a
Garoppolo?
DWI or something?
Oh yeah, he did, or something like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
do you guys know about the beef he had with Jimmy Garoppolo?
No.
Apparently, Jimmy Garoppolo fucked his girlfriend while.
It's kind of fire.
And that's why he always shit on Jimmy Garoppolo on his page.
Jimmy G's body count's got to be above like 30.
It's got to be high. It's probably
30?
the highest in the. Oh, it's more than 30. Probably.
30 in the last month, probably.
My bad. Sorry. Okay. But no, I did not know about that beef.
I mean, that
That's
information is just very funny.
That is funny.
I mean, it's sad for him, but he was kind of a prick, so I don't really give a shit. And
The football gods are smiting him.
Yeah, for real. I just thought like you saying like, "Oh, Kyler, I hate him for personal reasons."
I don't hate him for personal reasons.
That is
just
funny.
brought
Like,
that up in my mind.
think about it. That guy had like whatever, like I don't know how many followers. He had like 130,000 followers. Like if you're like a random, like that's like a pretty big page. Like you're kind of established at that point. You could be like a random NFL fan. Like that's kind of where maybe like you're not like too much. You don't watch too many games, but you still like to kind of know what's going on. And that's where like you kind of are informed by where you get your news from, what players are good is Spark NFL. And now he's just shitting on Jimmy G. And you're like, yeah, Jimmy G fucking sucks. But it's really because he just fucked his girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Do we have any of that?
I like
Well,
that.
we do. We all
do that. We
Kyler,
kind of
he
do that.
Blocked us.
We do that. I think we only really do that with like pictures, though. We don't really ever, and like jokes. We don't like in our rankings and shit. I don't really think we like discredit Kyler.
No.
He's actually just not good anymore. Well, he's not playing good. I still think he's talented, but he's not playing well.
We don't actively hurt their playing reputation of how good they are as a player. We just fucking shit on them for the fun of it.
Yeah.
And again, Kyler Murray could walk into my room right now. I'd be like, Kyler, huge fan, shake my hand. Yeah. So I mean,
play Call of Duty. Let's just do it.
Who am I to talk?
That tweet was mad funny. It was like Robbie Anderson's probably so confused on why he's getting a text on what his KD and his Warzone loadout is. Like
that's funny.
That shit's funny.
All right, moving on. I'll stay in the NFC West. I remember when we did our predictions, NFL record predictions, we all we were
The
low
NFC
on
West fucking sucks.
we were all low on the Cardinals, but we all really said it's probably going to be the Cardinals, the Niners, and the Rams competing for the division. The Seahawks legitimately can win this division. And as of right now, they're probably playing the best football in that division.
They are.
I think everyone sucks in that division right now.
Which is absolutely wild. And of course goes back to our yearly take where we say the NFL is so unpredictable and like no one's going to guess this. And that's why you don't want to look into too much stuff. But I mean, Sam, when you were like Seahawks should be a lock over the Cardinals, obviously it was a divisional matchup. Like Seahawks took it to them. And Geno Smith is seriously playing like a top 7 quarterback in this league right now, which is beyond wild. And we all said Russell Wilson wasn't the problem. It was Pete Carroll. And obviously it's only a 6-game sample size, but it looks like that's completely flipped on its head. And Seattle's defense has been so impressive so far. And we talked about how after, the Legion of Boom and that strong core defense they had in the 2010s, how it wasn't even close to that. And, they're great. They're truly playing like the best team in that division. And it's wild to say that they're 3-3. First off, if you would have said the Seahawks would be 3-3 after 6 games, I would have said you're smoking crack. That's the case we're at right now. And I legitimately, I don't think they're going to win the division, but they really do have a strong chance of going like 8 wins, 9 wins, and competing for that division, which I think is absurd.
Who's that linebacker on the Seahawks that has he had 180 tackles last year?
Freaking Jordan Brooks.
I think that's him, yeah. If you asked, what percentage of NFL fans do you think know who Jordan Brooks is?
30.
I think that's way too high.
I think that's too high, yeah.
I would say 7.
I'd say higher than 7. 10. Actually, we do need to take into account that a lot, we as people here are we're huge NFL fans. We know a lot of starters on every team. A lot of football is watched and dominated by normal people that
and they only care about offense.
They only care about their one team.
Yeah.
So honestly, 10% might be a little generous.
That's what I'm saying.
I think it should be more like 3.
This is kind of
I'm not even kidding.
It probably is. This is kind of unrelated, but it's crazy to see how many, I didn't even know who fucking Grady Jarrett was 2 years ago.
I was on the pod for that. That was a fun time.
Yeah, dude, there's just so many defensive players that randomly pop up that are super young. And Jordan Brooks, I'm not too familiar with his game if I want to use that meme format, whatever, from Shaq or wherever it was. But I don't know if he's great in coverage or whatever, but the man literally had 190 tackles last year or something ridiculous. That's kind of insane. He broke Bobby Wagner's record.
Yeah, he was a first-round pick. I
don't even know who he is.
You probably didn't even know that
Jordan
he was a
Brooks?
first-round pick. Yeah,
No idea.
I think he was in 2020. I think that's when he was picked. Yeah, when he was a third-round prospect coming out, he's played well since taking over for KJ Wright and now Bobby Wagner. I want to ask you guys this since this is a whole NFC West topic and all the teams suck. Where are the Niners? The Niners just lost to the Falcons. I
hate that the Falcons are good this year. I hate it.
I fucking told you guys. I told you guys
that they're good.
Mariota is cooking, dude. I told you he's not that bad.
I was so wrong.
The Pitts usage is very confusing, but
his first touchdown on
he
US
did score,
soil.
yeah.
What are we doing there?
I don't know.
It's the same thing with Terry and the Commanders. If you're an OC, how are you not saying before the game, all right, Kyle Pitts has to get at least 10 targets or we're fucking it up.
Did you see the Theo Ash's TikTok on Kyle Pitts?
I did not. What did he say?
He was basically saying the most success that the Falcons have had on offense is running play action and keeping Kyle Pitts in the block. He thinks it has to do with because of the fact that Arthur Smith used to coach Mariota, and the reason why Mariota wasn't good anymore is because he kept getting hit. He kept getting pressured and sacked and whatever. It's kind of a ridiculous statement, but you could say that for any quarterback in the NFL. But And then he was saying, like, but all the comments are going to say, why don't you just put Kyle Pitts at wide receiver? Like, just line him out at wide, because realistically, he is a wide receiver. Like, you can run him at wide receiver. And then he's like, well, teams are going to know that what they're doing if you put Kyle Pitts at wide receiver, which I still think is a ridiculous concept. Like, I would just use Kyle Pitts as a receiver because he's so talented, but that's basically what he was saying. Like, I don't know how many routes Kyle Pitts is running. I'd be interested to see. Like, is he not running that many routes per game? I don't know.
But I do want to ask, I love that the Falcons are good, though, by the way. Arthur Smith is proving us right. He also put out a poll on Twitter asking if Arthur Smith was a good coach, and it was like 50-50.
Yeah.
That's like, guys, the Falcons are 3-3.
For the beginning of that, I thought you meant Arthur Smith put out his own poll asking if he was good.
Yes.
It's like, that's a power move.
No, I want to ask, where are the Niners if Trey Lance is their QB? Like, what are we thinking they
That's
are at?
so hard
Because
to
their offense isn't looking as we all before the season were like, hey, if Jimmy G's their quarterback, or once they figured out Jimmy G's their quarterback, they might be better than what we thought they would be with Trey Lance. But are they?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because we said so much in the past, like Jimmy G may not be a great quarterback, but he wins games. And that's all you really want from your quarterback. But he's not winning games. So is it a testament to just how bad this offense is?
Well, I think it's still early, and I do think that realistically, I think the Niners might have the best chance to win this division.
I agree.
I
still think the Niners
will
will
win.
win. Yeah,
yes, I agree.
They have a good defense. Obviously, this weekend was like kind of a weird showing, but that's the NFL. Like, I think over the long run, the rest of the games of the season, I probably think the Niners will be the best team.
It's funny because like if you're between like 2-4 and 4-2, like you still have a great chance of being a playoff team because just so many teams suck this year.
100%. And I mean, the Rams, like, they played the worst team in the league, and they didn't look that well. They didn't look good.
We'll get to the Panthers later. They fucking reek. They are terrible.
Yeah. And we're not even bringing up like how bad the Rams have been. I feel like we haven't. Sully, Jesus just came into your room or something.
I know, dude. I'm going to start levitating. Someone's like running up the hill, dude. All right. If you want to talk, I'm going to go close the blinds, but you can talk.
But the Rams, we haven't even like talked about them like at all on the pod this season. Like they have not been good.
No, and I think we talked about it like before the season. This is like my biggest critique was, and for you saying like outside of their starters, they have absolutely no depth on this team. And I genuinely think like I'm not just saying this as a Commanders fan. The loss of Kevin O'Connell matters. Their offensive creativity is none. And you look at Minnesota, who's 5-1 right now. And their offense is arguably one of the best in the league. Like small things like that, like we talk about, like that average casual watcher of the NFL. And of course, I fall into this trap because I don't know anything, but like they don't really necessarily care about that. But like there's so many just small things that, of course, will all add up. And it's like, wow, it's all becoming evident to finally see. But yeah, that's really all I got.
Crazy.
That's all you got. That's all I got.
Well, now it's time for your take.
All right, let's fucking do it. My take is about the Denver Broncos, but actually, it's just about the Denver Broncos. I've been wrong about a lot of things this year. I can rattle some of them off.
I thought you were never wrong about anything.
No, I've never been wrong about anything, but
if you were close, this would be the exception.
Yeah, like this is the closest I've ever been to being wrong. I thought Juju was going to be a great fantasy wide receiver this year. Season's not over. Actually, just had a great game, but he kind of sucks.
Allen Robinson,
I thought was going to be very, very good.
He looks
also sucks.
Horrid. He looks horrible.
I mean, he just had his best game,
good.
but
he
like
was good
once again,
yesterday.
Like, I still don't think he's going to do anything.
Yeah, you're playing the Panthers, so.
Yeah. And I was wrong about the Colts. I said the Colts were going to have a great season, although once again, Matt Ryan just did have his best game of the season, 400 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Winning a division game, that was massive for them. I still think that team can win the division regardless. Broncos. I think the Broncos were the most wrong I've been. I thought, and in my fantasy drafts show this, I invested in this offense heavily. And so did, who invested in this offense more heavily than I did? The Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
They invested fucking 40 million? Is that what they gave him? $240 million to Russ. And he fucking sucks.
But
I thought he was going to be great.
Yeah, to your counterpoint, like, I obviously you agree, like, there's still so much talent on that offense. And I think all of us are like, it's got to be a Hackett issue at that point.
Yeah, but
also, Russ is also playing
teams
terrible.
Like don't really solve that issue, especially since they just added all these pieces. Like, I don't think they're going to fire the head coach. Like,
they can't.
Yeah.
What does that solve? All of their staff is rookie.
Well, I don't think mid-season. I don't think
mid-season.
Definitely
no, it'd be after the season, if anything. But like, you look at this team and like this defense is playing lights out. This defense is playing really freaking good football.
Yeah.
They're one of the best defenses in the NFL. I think they have the third best score rates for a defense, and they are 2-4. That should just tell you everything about how horrific this offense has been and how horrific Russell Wilson has been.
And I know we said the AFC West was going to be like this blockbuster division, but outside of the Chiefs, Chargers and Raiders are playing terrible. So,
yeah, I mean, the Chargers, they've had a lot of injuries, so I guess, but like Staley has been really weird with this team. And then the Raiders are just a whole other animal with how they've constructed this team. Whereas with the Broncos, like you brought up, like, oh, it has to be a Hackett issue, but like you have to also take the Seahawks, which we just brought up, into account, where like, was it Russ? We all thought it was Russ that was keeping the Seahawks alive, and it was a Pete Carroll issue. We said that narrative flipped on its head, and Russell Wilson has not played up to expectations whatsoever in Denver. He started last night 10 for 10 with 100 yards and a touchdown. And then he ended 5 for 17.
He had 15 yards in the second half, I think.
Yes.
That's scary bad.
And just seeing the two teams, particularly the Broncos in like the fourth quarter and overtime, it was the most stalemate, the most dry offense I've ever seen. And you knew they were going to get some sort of fourth down coming within a couple of plays. It was terrible to watch.
Yeah, but the difference is that the Broncos defense is good. And the Chargers defense is pretty good, but the Broncos offense is just trash.
Correct.
Like, it wasn't the Chargers defense, it was the Broncos offense just being really, really bad.
Correct.
Like, they've been bad. And my point was that I was going to bring up is like, they just gave this team so many fucking primetime games because, like me, they thought this team was going to be very, very good and exciting because they had a lot of, talented players on offense. And they have another primetime game. I don't know what week it is, but it's against the Chiefs. So they should have flexed this game out, in my opinion. But
you can't do that.
It's too early in the season to flex.
What are the rules?
I don't know.
It has to be like 2 weeks out, I think, minimum.
No, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's 2 weeks out minimum.
Well, I don't know.
It would make sense, but like, I don't know. Regardless, they need to fucking get this team off primetime. But they're not going to because it's the Chiefs, and that's fair. I'll watch the Chiefs in primetime. I don't care. But yeah, this team fucking sucks.
They really put Broncos
boring.
Chargers on Monday Night Football over Bills Chiefs. Bills Chiefs was an afternoon game. I cannot believe that.
The Broncos, if you did a top 10, if you did a top 5 of the most boring games this year, I think the Broncos might have 3 of the spots. They have 2 or 3 of the spots.
They might have 5. All of their games have been so unexciting.
That game against the Colts, it's got to be a top 3 most boring football game ever played. I'd rather watch 1930s football, I think. At least they weren't even wearing helmets and they were just killing each other. At least it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
The 49ers game.
That was so bad.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. The Texans game was rough.
Games. At least 3 of the games of the and then probably Bears Commanders. Yeah.
That was horrible.
It's the Commanders. They suck.
I hate
Carson. No Carson Wentz.
Good. Well, no, Carson's not the whole problem, but at least we're having fun with Taylor. At least Taylor goes out there and looks like a fucking
Does he have a fucking Heineken sponsorship yet or what?
No, but Light swooped in and gave him one for more money.
What?
That doesn't make sense.
Heineken never offered him.
Yeah, it's a fucking botch. I also wouldn't take it. Heineken sucks.
Yeah. And Bud Light was like, we'll offer you. And
you can't drink Heineken unless you're like 40. That's like the minimum. That's a dad beer.
Kind of think that's false, but
it's not. They card you at the bar, and if you're not 40, they don't give you the beer.
All right, word. No,
that's my take though. Broncos are fucking trash. Get them off prime time and kill everyone on the roster.
Shout out to the Chargers for keeping me alive in Survivor. Thank God.
Yes.
I was
14 people.
16.
Do you want to announce your Survivor pick?
I'm going to go with as of right now, bound to change if things occur during the week, but the plan right now is Raiders over the Texans.
That's a good one.
I think that's a really good pick.
Raiders are at home, coming off a bye week. They gotta win. Like, it's a must win for this team. So
who are you deciding between? Who's the other option?
Let me pull it up. I was thinking about this last night. See, I've gone through like a majority of the good teams, which
I feel like a lot of people are going to pick the Raiders.
I think so
because
too.
Like I don't think anyone's really picked them yet because they would have been eliminated,
and it's still kind of a value pick because you're not going to choose
exactly.
So what else am I debating between Cowboys over the Lions?
No,
I wouldn't touch that.
Dolphins over the Steelers?
No. Yeah, just go Raiders.
Pats over the Bears?
Oh, I think that's a good one.
Pretty safe, but
it's on Monday night.
But with now, with 16 people remaining, I would go Raiders.
Yeah, I like the Raiders pick.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. We'll see.
Pleasure doing business.
Get too bold at this stage.
One of my friends went with Commanders over the Bears. I was like, why'd you do that? But it worked out. So, all right, Samuel, next take. Numero dos.
Well, this take kind of fits in with all of what we've talked about today, and that's that every football team in the NFL is bad this year, except for 3.
Are you going to say the Eagles, Bills, and Chiefs?
How did you know?
Well, that's miraculous how I thought
Wait. Repeat that one more time. I was doing business. Just got a really important business email on my bed.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Did the check clear?
Always on the clock.
Did the direct deposit hit?
Yeah, we're doing good. What's up?
Nice.
What did you just say?
Every NFL team is bad except 3 teams.
What teams?
What do you think?
The Chiefs, Bills, and Eagles.
Wow, Sully.
I'm a fucking genius.
You picked the 3 in the power rankings. Let's go.
What team does Campazzo play for?
I don't know, but every NFL team is bad. Let me just show you the NFC right now. I think there's only 3 teams in the NFC that have above a 500. 4 teams in the NFC that have above a 500 record right now. What do you think they are?
Eagles, Vikings, Cowboys, and Giants.
Correct.
Right, first of all, the Giants aren't bad. I don't know where you got that from.
Oh, Sully.
They're elite.
They
5-1.
They took advantage of look.
5 wins, 1 loss. That's a 5-1 ratio.
You could say a team has wins, but you could still say they're a bad football team.
You can. You're right.
I am, and that's what I'm saying. The Jets have 4 wins. They are a bad football.
No, the Jets do suck.
Like their
we'll talk about New York football, but
was horrendous against Green Bay. Zach Wilson was so fucking bad, but they won because Green Bay is the most incompetent franchise in fucking sports right now. And I'm not going to talk about them. You will never get me to speak the light of day for this franchise for any time now.
Save your sanity.
I am. But also, like, NFC West, we just brought them up. They all are bad so far this year. NFC East, we all thought a majority of this division was going to be bad. They've been the best division in fucking football. The NFC South, the Bucks are 3-3. Their offense is in shambles. They lost to the Steelers.
But Tom Brady had a tweet that said, we're going to fix this. So I got full faith.
I don't believe him.
Oh, I do.
I believe him.
Do you guys, like, we talked about this like a few weeks ago. We're like, Tom Brady, like, he missed a lot of camp. He doesn't practice like once a week. He takes off days. He's having his marriage fall apart. Like,
I literally blame Giselle. Not even kidding. It's her fault.
Like, do you guys think he like regrets coming back or like
No.
he doesn't regret? I think he loves that he came back, but like all the shit is hitting the fan during his comeback, which is what's fucking him over right now.
Well, let's say he has a bad year. You know what he's going to do? See you later. And he's going to go off into the sunset with his new girlfriend, and they're going to have a happy ever after. So.
If you had to bet money on Tom Brady's new girlfriend,
there are actually odds that have came out. I can read that.
I think you read them. I think you read them last week.
No, he didn't.
There's odds for Giselle too.
Oh, you read the Giselle ones.
Yeah.
Because you said Harry Styles. I remember you brought up Harry Styles in it.
All right. Let's check this out. So the odds. Kendall Swift. Jenner.
Is she leading?
No. Alessandra Ambrosio is leading.
Sounds like he was having
that sounds like a rich white woman. That's Tom Brady's type.
Kendall Jenner, Lindsey Vonn, Taylor Swift.
Lindsey Vonn would be fire.
Kim Kardashian. I can't see that.
No,
absolutely not.
Jennifer Aniston, Ariana Grande.
She's married. Tom Brady's not light skinned.
I like that Ambrosio girl. They know something we don't.
Yeah, there was an affair. Someone was sucking someone. I don't know. I think it's gonna be someone that we kind of know of, but like you would just never expect. Like just like kind of someone random, but they'll probably be famous.
I'm gonna look up the richest women in the world, and we'll see Tom Brady,
Jeff Bezos' wife,
because all of his money comes from his wife. Like his net worth is poor. Like 90% his wife.
Yeah, he's fucking.
This is why all of his contracts are so small.
Well,
he needs help from ASC. He needs a job.
Richest women globally by net worth.
I'm not even being sexist. I guarantee 9 out of the top 10 divorced dudes.
Okay, wait.
They got their money like that.
I'm not being sexist. Let me ask you this.
I could be completely wrong. Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
If I'm wrong, I will say I'm completely wrong, but that's a guess.
Actually, we're not gonna do what I just was gonna bring up.
Why?
Because I think it would be a bad thing. All right. America's richest women. Do you want me to go? I'll go 1.
Number 1 is Jeff Bezos' ex-wife.
Number 1 is.
I'll be on
showing number 1.
I'll be on speed dial to look up these women, and we can learn about them.
Diane Hendricks.
Is that like Jimi Hendrix?
She gets it from roofing, and she's got $12 billion.
You're fucking right.
She's from Beloit in Wisconsin.
Diane Hendricks' spouse is Ken Hendricks, and Ken Hendricks is an American businessman. Yeah, they founded the Shingle Supply Company.
Oh, that makes sense.
Shingle Supply Company,
like like they supply all the they probably patented shingles for roofing.
It's grown into a $2.6 billion fortune.
Yeah,
good on you, Diane.
Yeah, good.
All right, next one.
Okay, there's like a zillion T-Mobile ads on this page. I'm sorry, guys.
T-Mobile sucks.
Judy Faulkner. She's also from Wisconsin. Where is my money?
Yeah, Judy Foster or Faulkner?
Faulkner.
So like a FA.
She does medical healthcare software. Healthcare software, so that makes sense.
Judith Faulkner?
She's married. She's Judy Faulkner.
She is the CEO and founder of Epic Systems, a healthcare software located in Wisconsin. Yep. She's worth $6 billion. We got to check out the husband.
We need to make sure their ages are in Tom Brady's age range.
Gordon Faulkner.
From 20 to 40.
Gordon is retired. So
all of these women are 80 plus.
Yeah, that's whatever.
Oprah? See it. Imagine Tom Brady married Oprah. Gosh. How crazy that'd be.
All right, moving on to my next take.
What? I literally just brought up teams are bad. We ended up with Tom Brady. Marriage odds. We love it.
Broncos.
The only person in his age range is Rihanna.
Oh,
That'd be a fire
question:
couple.
Rihanna or Beyonce?
Like in what
Music
sense?
or
Music wise,
Beyonce?
Rihanna.
Rihanna.
No, it's Beyonce.
Rihanna's
Rihanna's more my type.
gonna be fire at the halftime show.
Oh yeah,
Fire.
for sure. But
Because
better
if
than
she hasn't
Beyonce.
She's gonna sing Disturbia, and I'm gonna get lit dancing
She
to that with
hasn't-
the TV.
released any music in like so fucking long.
Neither has Beyonce.
I'm not saying Beyonce should have been in the halftime.
Hey,
It
who
should have
is-
been Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Who is
They already
Whit-
were. Or
Yeah,
like
do it again.
weren't they with who are they with?
I don't know.
It was the Broncos, Seahawks,
They should
in
do Billy
New
Joel.
York. They should do Billy Joel. Unreal.
Who is Whitney Wolf Herd?
I know Whitney Houston, if that helps.
She's 32.
You used to know her.
That's for Tom Brady. There you go, Tom Brady. I got you.
All right, moving on to my next take. I want to say this.
Yo, I'm going to an NFL game. First
What
one
game?
ever.
No, it's not.
No, it is
shot.
not.
I've never been to an NFL game.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it a Giants game?
Yeah.
Who they
Texans.
Ooh.
Oh.
So we're gonna win.
Come
Wearing-
on.
are you wearing your Daniel Jones jersey?
I don't have a Daniel Jones
Your
jersey.
Where-
Kadarius Tony jersey?
I want you to
No,
wear
thank
your.
God, it
I want
doesn't
to wear
matter.
your.
No way.
Can you wear
I
your
actually don't have a
Giants-
jersey. I used to have Eli jersey.
Can you wear your Giants beanie that I got you?
I'm actually giving it away to someone.
Are you
I'm
fucking kidding me?
I'm not giving it away. I'm letting someone wear it. It's a female. We'll see.
All right. Anyway, moving on to my take. I kind of want to say this to we don't have to talk about it, bring mention, but Bryce Young is going to be a Carolina Panther. It's going to happen. And I want to talk a little bit about Bryce. Bryce Young, I think, is easily the best quarterback out of this draft class. I think this is kind of a hot take. I said if he was 2, maybe 3 inches taller, I know that's like such a big hypothetical, he would be
Caleb Williams.
he would be one of the best prospects we've ever seen. Bryce Young is phenomenal. And I think come draft time, even though CJ Stroud's probably going to win the Heisman this year, Bryce Young hasn't done anything wrong per se this season too. He won the Heisman last year, and he's had an arguably better season than last year. But CJ Stroud and Hendon Hooker are just playing out of this world of football. But Bryce Young is the best prospect easily, and the Carolina Panthers are easily the worst team in the football. Did you watch any of that game against the Rams? That offense was disgusting. I was vomiting on my toilet watching them play offense.
You were watching
You
on
have
your
a
toilet?
TV in your bathroom?
Yeah.
That's
just so
fire.
like only Panthers games though. So it just comes out with vomit whenever
You just
I watch.
shit while you're watching. Speaking of Bryce Young, though, that fucking Alabama-Tennessee game was insane.
Game of the year.
That Hyatt guy, I think that's his last name.
Unreal.
I draft him first
TDs,
overall.
4
4
touchdowns.
I would draft him first overall.
Tennessee
Hooker
plus
is also a dog.
Hendon Hooker is
Yep.
that close to being to winning the Heisman. I think
Caleb
Stroud.
Williams. Is Caleb Williams draft eligible?
No, he's a sophomore.
No.
That guy's a fucking dog.
Yeah, dude, that Utah USC game was unbelievable.
Yeah,
USC is
that was
win
bullshit, by the way. USC should have won that game. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I know they lost in the last 30 seconds. I was watching it. I was a little inebriated, but I remember it being bullshit.
Yeah, no, there were some bad calls towards the stretch.
Yeah.
USC though still probably they have a good chance of going to the playoff. Their next 4 games
I want them to.
Their next 4 games are cakewalk before they have to go on the road to play UCLA. And then they're fine.
Isn't that UCLA quarterback unreal?
Yes.
What's his name?
Dorian something Thompson. I can
Is he a rookie or a freshman?
I don't think so. Let me look it up. Dorian.
Is he a rookie?
It's Dorian Thompson Robinson.
Thank you. Yeah, he's
What does this
unbelievable.
man think he is? You think someone to say 3 names?
He's
You get one
22.
name.
He's a senior. UCLA is really
He's
good
a
this
senior?
year.
Yeah,
Hey,
Damn.
UCLA's got that Chip Kelly offense. So,
they do.
Yeah, he's gonna be next Josh Rosen.
God, don't ever say that again.
Hope not.
But no, honestly, I wanted more so this take. Obviously, we could focus on the Panthers being terrible. I literally cannot praise Bryce Young enough because last year in his Heisman year, he was unbelievable. And this, I promise you again, I don't want to talk all about college football. Alabama is still, I think, going to win the national championship. They're going to be completely fine. But Bryce Young is so good.
They're getting carved up, bro.
By who?
They were getting carved up.
Yeah, by Tennessee, who's good. Like,
Yeah, not my
Tennessee's
bad.
Alabama lost the
Look,
game last year too.
I always say Alabama's going to win every single year. I'm that guy.
If you want to talk,
I just think they're the best.
If you want to talk about overreactions in the NFL, try college football, and it's 40 times worse.
Oh God!
I will sit here.
To be fair, because one loss in college football can make or break a season, so I feel like you kind of have to overreact. You know, like USC lost. They're probably not going to make the playoffs now.
Disagree. They control their own fate. I promise you that. If USC wins out, they will be a top 4 seed.
Okay, what if everyone wins in front of them?
They won't make it. That doesn't happen. Teams play each other. Michigan and Ohio State are going to play. Whoever loses that game is not going to. You just said they control their own fate. They don't. They do not control their own fate. They do. What are you talking about? The definition of controlling your own fate is there's nothing that can affect your spot.
To be fair, Sully
99% they control their own destiny.
You're saying inevitably one of those teams is going to lose, which is probably correct.
It always happens. It's happened.
Is Michigan ahead of them?
Yes,
Michigan fucking sucks.
Michigan is really fucking good.
Fuck Michigan.
They're really good.
Fafa McCarthy? That sucks.
To be fair with Sully's take about them not fully controlling their own destiny, this is decided not by like record and like
that's also true. You guys stupid bullshit.
Look, like you guys are looking too
by a committee.
You're looking way too into it. If USC wins every single game, they are going to be in the playoffs.
Yes, I agree with you.
I hope they make it, man. I'm a Caleb Williams fan. Caleb Williams, if they won that game, he would have won the Heisman.
That's not true.
Yeah,
it's not even
absolutely not. Yep. Absolutely not.
Yeah. If they won that game the rest of the year, like you said, they're going to win every game. He would have won the Heisman.
I'm not saying they're going to win every game. I'm saying if they do, they will be in the playoff.
No, I'm telling you right now.
Okay.
If they won that game against Utah, they also are going to win every other game. They would have went undefeated, and Caleb Williams would have won the Heisman.
I kind of disagree.
Why?
Because if Ohio State wins every single game, CJ Stroud's going to win the Heisman.
But he would have had worse stats than Caleb.
CJ Stroud's put up better stats than Caleb Williams this year.
No.
Okay. Sorry.
I'll pull up the numbers.
I actually kind of don't know if that's completely true. Is that true?
It's true.
You are definitely not right, Sully.
I don't know.
Here's his stats for this year. So far this year,
CJ Stroud has like 30-something touchdowns.
That's like not
24 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
Sorry.
1,700 yards.
It's kind of a bum stat line.
70% completion percentage.
No one cares about that.
Let me pull up Caleb Williams.
So 24-3, 70%, undefeated, best offense in the country.
Caleb Williams got? He's got 64% completion percentage, 1,900 yards, 19 touchdowns, 1 interception. To be fair,
that's not bad.
Stroud is not finishing some of these games, so
because it's so far and away the best offense in the country.
That doesn't help his case.
Yes, it does.
You think they take that into consideration?
Caleb Williams has 230 passing attempts. Stroud only has
I think
60.
Here's the thing,
and he has only 200 less passing yards.
Here's the thing. If you guys are gonna act like he's not in striking distance, that's crazy.
I didn't say that. He's like
you guys said I was crazy for saying that.
He's like the 4th guy right now, maybe the 5th.
Second.
It goes CJ Stroud, Hendon Hooker, Bryce Young, and then Caleb at 4 is fine.
Yeah.
No.
I'm sorry.
Are you putting him over Hooker, Sully?
I'm putting Caleb Williams over everyone.
If you're putting him over Hooker,
I'm putting Corum second.
Blake Corum is
Sully,
a dog.
Name me a player on USC other than Caleb Williams.
Fucking Drake London.
Jordan Addison.
Lincoln Riley.
That's going to be number 1 overall receiver drafted this year, too, which is fucking crazy.
Jackson Smith.
He's getting outplayed by
his fucking sucks. Isn't he hurt?
Well, yeah, JSN's injured. If Jackson Smith and Jigba,
JSN,
if he was healthy, he would be the number 1.
He would be, but like people are going to overthink him. They're going to be like, "Oh, Marvin Harrison's outplaying him. He's not a good prospect."
Marvin Harrison's son.
He outplayed Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave.
Wait. Garrett Wilson. Marvin Harrison's son.
Yes.
Yes.
What the fuck? I always think that's so cool. That always blows my mind. Like when Asante Samuel Jr. got drafted, I was like, that's crazy.
It makes us feel so old, even though we're like in our early 20s.
It's crazy. Marvin Harrison was a little bit before my time though.
Dude, he was a dog.
He was fire. But like his prime was like before I watched
you know how, all right, so you were on
Samuel, like I watched Asante Samuel.
So you weren't on this pod, but we talked about Andrew Luck when you were in Germany. And I said I was going to watch Andrew Luck. I was going to watch Andrew Luck highlights after the pod. I did. T.Y. Hilton was a fucking dog.
Yeah, T.Y. Hilton's fire.
I completely forgot about that.
You know who the Packers should sign?
T.Y.
Hilton.
That's true.
T.Y. Hilton.
I completely forgot. Like he put up like close to 1,500 yards in the season.
Yeah, he was fire.
T.Y. Hilton. There's so many receivers.
I think Andrew Luck was just really good.
Oh, I'll ask you this question. So if Andrew Luck was healthy and still playing football right now, where would it be on your QB rankings? Would it be top 5?
Quarterbacks are horrible.
Yeah,
if we're talking strictly, this year he could also be horrible. Who would know? But like if I was talking about prime Andrew Luck based on what he did, you put him in this season. He's what? Like he's probably like the second best quarterback.
He's probably 3 behind Mahomes. And
he's 3. Yeah,
he's only 33. Like he's not that old.
Yeah, it's his prime right there.
Just because he retired,
it's such 30. A shame that like as soon as he like called it quits, their line became like really good.
Yeah.
Actually, I saw someone make a comment on TikTok. I think it was. It's like kind of facts. The NFL, like everyone's talking about how all these teams suck and offenses are trash, whatever. Someone said there's an offensive lineman shortage. Yeah, like there's just offensive linemen are just not very good. There's just not enough good ones, which is like kind of facts.
The NFL has an excess in running backs and wide receivers, but a lack of linemen and tight ends on offense.
Definitely tight ends. I think they need someone to step in. I think I'm the man for the fucking job.
They're doing the tight end.
I'm playing left guard.
So maybe that helps.
I think being tight end's cool. I would love to be a tight end if I was like, 8 inches taller and I gained 100 pounds, but
unfortunately, that's not the case.
They say nothing's impossible.
It's true. Sully, what's your next take?
I'll go relatively quick. Am I last?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Mine's about New York football. And
big ups.
Well, first of all, the Giants are incredible. Might be the best team in the league. The Jets, I still think kind of suck. What do you guys think about like if you have 2 teams from the same area? Do you hate the team that you're not technically a fan of? Or like do you just like are you happy for their success?
It depends if they're in the same division or not. It depends if they're in the same division or not. Because like mostly
are they ever in the same what team? Is there a league where there's 2 cities? One city, 2 teams,
Lakers
same division?
and the Clippers.
Yeah, true.
The Knicks and the Nets.
LAFC and LA Galaxy, but no one cares about
soccer's not real.
The MLB and the NFL dodges doing this though. They have the White Sox and the Cubs in separate conferences. The Rams and the Chargers are in separate conferences.
That should be how it is.
The Jets.
If they ever met in the finals, that'd be fucking insane. Like if the Jets and the Giants, although like they're not very good, and I don't think people would love that. But if they think about it, if both teams were actually good, they both had like elite quarterbacks. They're both really good. They met in the Super Bowl. That'd be fucking insane.
Yeah. Or like the Rams and Chargers. That'd be sick.
Yeah. It would be.
It wouldn't be as sick as New York though. Like
that was basically my take. Like New York is like sports are better when I'm a New York fan. So maybe this is a little bit biased, but I feel like sports are better when New York is good.
Completely agree.
Because I think a lot of people hate New York, and that's good for sports when the team's really good, when a lot of people hate that team.
Yeah.
So I didn't tell you, I'm going to New York for winter.
What are you doing?
Just checking it out with the fam. Taking a nice little trip. Yeah.
In the city or what?
Yeah, in the city. Come say hi.
I mean, you're going to be with your family?
So, you can get drunk with me, Evan, and Carl. Be lit.
I would love to shake Carl's hand.
All right. You'll have the opportunity to. He'll probably be fucking stressed out. He'll be like, I fucking hate New York. So much traffic. But
I'm down, man. Let me know.
I will. All right. We good?
Let's
go on to our game. If
Let's
you guys are down. All right. So the game, Would you rather sports edition? Just a bunch of like different hypothetical would you rathers. Don't want to give too much context. Just go with the flow. You ready?
Yep.
I'm going with the flow.
All right.
Osmosis Jones.
Would you rather your team win the Super Bowl or you win a giant, huge fantasy football league? So like hypothetically, it's a couple $100, 12 people in it.
My team wins the Super Bowl.
Fantasy
Easily.
football league.
Dude, why
I'm
even
very
devote
selfish.
yourself? Why even devote yourself to a fan base if you're not going to want them to win?
I do want them to win.
He wants money more.
Would I pay $2,400 for the Giants to win the Super Bowl? Nah, I don't think so.
You're not
If I
winning
had more money-
$2,400 in a
He said a
fantasy
couple
league.
$100, 12 people.
I did. I said a couple $100.
Let's say it was a
buy-in, 12
$200
people.
buy-in, 12 people. If I
Yeah.
win $2,400, that's pretty good. If I had a lot of money, I'd rather the Giants win, for sure. If I had any money, I'd rather the Giants win.
I would say my team. That's what I would say.
I think that's the right answer,
It's
Yeah.
definitely the right answer.
but I'm a loser.
Yeah,
It
that's all right.
happens so unoften. You just got to cherish it. I could dominate a fantasy
So does me
league
winning
year in
fantasy.
and- I can win it. I win fantasy leagues year in and year
Yeah, if I
out.
really
It
care, if I really
happens.
try, like I'll
Yeah,
just
if
win
you
every
try,
year.
you can win it every
I pick and
Yeah,
choose when I
I'm
win
whatever.
fantasy.
Yeah.
Would you rather watch a big sporting event live as a fan or be able to cover it?
I think I'd rather watch it live as a fan. I think being
I
able
think
to
I would
cover
too.
it. Also, being able to cover it has a lot of like ripple effects. That means like you're employed.
Yeah.
And
So if you fuck up, you get fired.
well, I mean, that means like you have like that's a dope ass job.
Yeah.
But
Well,
if you're
the
talking about like a
sideline reporter is
one-time
useless.
experience, if you're talking about like well, that's true, they can't do anything. If you're talking about like a one-time experience thing, like whatever, would I rather go to the Super Bowl or would like be on the sidelines and cover it?
Yeah, do that hypothetically.
I
I think a fan is what I choose.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with fan. Depends if I'm getting paid hella money, though.
think I'd be a fan. Nah, like no money aside, just experience. I think I'd be a fan.
Yeah.
Would you rather go to dinner with Steph Curry or Josh Allen?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
I think I'd say the same thing. Would you rather be the star of a bad team or an average player on an elite team?
Star of a bad team.
Star on a bad team. I'm very
I'm
selfish.
getting a bag if I star in a bad team. All their money is going to go to me.
Yeah.
And also all the fans are going to love me and will die by me because they're going to blame the organization. If
It's
you're
so
just an
fire.
average player, you're expendable for a
Yeah.
good team.
You can just do whatever you want. Like you curse your teammates out. Fans are like, yeah, everyone else sucks. No one cares. Like
Right.
Sully's going off.
Yeah.
Would you rather watch an NBA regular season game courtside, all included food, all included beer, all that good stuff? Would you rather sit in the worst seat in the house for a Eastern Conference, Western Conference final game?
Wait. So the first option is a random NBA game.
Random NBA game. It's like the 34th game of the regular season, but you're sitting courtside and you got all that incentives.
I'd rather sit courtside at the random game. I think experiencing. That is one thing I do definitely need to experience once in my life is sitting like legitimately courtside. I think that'd be fucking sick.
Yeah, we got to ask Jake to help us with that.
Yeah, seriously.
Literally.
I think I'm going to side with Sully, even though if my team is involved in the Eastern Conference Finals, I would go to the Eastern Conference Finals game. But
I agree.
If it's other than that, I would do courtside.
Me too. Would you rather never watch an NBA or MLB game ever again?
Never watch an MLB game ever again.
Yeah,
I'd probably say the same, but it's low-key kind of close.
it is. It's kind of
It's low key kind of close for me not wanting to watch either. Is that an option?
Right.
No.
How about-
MLB games are. I kind of fuck with an MLB game. Like an MLB
Same.
playoff game's fun.
Oh yeah,
They're
I would.
so good.
I think I honestly would rather go to an MLB game than an NBA game,
I think so too. MLB games are fun.
especially like price-wise. They're so much cheaper.
I feel like an MLB game, like it's more of an activity, and an NBA game, like you're just going to watch the game.
Yeah,
MLB is like you go with your friends, you're just having like you're hanging out, having a good time.
yeah, I agree.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
I think I have two more. Would you rather have your favorite team win the championship, but you can't watch them for the next 15 years? Or you just watch them for the 15 years, but they don't win a championship?
But they're not going to win a championship?
You don't know that.
You don't know that.
No.
I'm taking the guaranteed championship. You always watch for championships.
Wait, you don't know that they're going to win going in?
It's like, would you rather you know you're going to win a championship, but you can't watch the next 15 years, or just now, where you don't know what's going to happen?
I wouldn't want to know that it's guaranteed. That kind of ruins it. That's like cheating.
Okay, you're thinking too much of it.
But when you watch the 15
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
You think that they're going to win every year, but then they're going to rip your heart out.
I'll take the championship. I'll take the championship. I'll take the championship.
I don't think I would. I think I would go crazy if I couldn't watch my team for 15 years.
Enjoy 15 years of fucking
watching
bad
your team,
Commanders teams.
Oh, no, we're good. We're
Enjoy that. Enjoy that.
Man.
Last question. Would you rather play golf with Tiger Woods or be in a coach's meeting room ran by Nick Saban?
Oh, golf with Tiger Woods. Easy.
Golf with Tiger Woods. That's an interesting question, though.
Yeah, I would say Tiger Woods.
I wasn't expecting that second option. I thought it was going to be like fucking, I don't know, like shoot around with Steph Curry or some shit. The coaching room is interesting.
I was thinking about doing that exact shoot around with Steph Curry, but I changed it. So
I think the coaching room would be very interesting. I think you'd have a very different perspective of football after you sat in that room.
All right, guys. What'd you think of the questions?
I love that game. I thought that was a great time.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. All right.
Yeah.
Highlighted podcast. Thank you for listening. We love peace and positivity, everyone. Goodbye.
Goodbye.